Welcome to the Warrior's Way Home podcast.
And we are live. What up, Warriors? Hope you guys all doing better than good, better than great, having an awesome Friday during this live session that we're doing. Man, I'm gonna start off with something pretty interesting. A quote to kind of kick us off with where we're going with this whole thing. But appreciate you guys joining us. Like and subscribe. And get that out of the way right now before we hop into things, because I always forget by the end, and I don't want to do that this time. So,
for sure.
If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. John Quincy Adams. Man, what we are talking about today is leadership. Something that a lot of people, a lot of guys think that they are, but if they actually kind of dug into it, they probably find out that they might be coming up a little short in life. So we are talking about leadership, man, and how important it is. What up, Ed? How's it going, man?
It's going well. And this is definitely kind of timely because like I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary for work, and I'm in leadership now. Right. Well, I mean, technically 2. I guess I'm coming up on two work anniversaries. One for Warriors Way Home. We've been doing this about 2 years, which you let me know, like 2 years in July, and then it's been 2 years in August for my 9 to 5. So definitely shout out to everybody who's been with us on this journey so far, encouraging us, helped us before we even knew what this thing was called. We appreciate you. We appreciate all of your support. But yeah, on my 9 to 5, man, coming up on my 2-year anniversary, and you can definitely tell those who want to be in leadership just for the power, those who are a boss versus a leader.
Yeah, and they are two very different things.
Two very different things. People who just want to tell you what to do, that's the guy that you're worried about cracking the whip on you. If something goes wrong, that's the boss. A leader is somebody who will give you actionable steps on something, like you said, inspire you to do more, show you that you're capable of more. And I'm glad I know that I'm the latter. And that's what I really appreciate about my journey, because I've had a lot of bosses, but not a lot of leaders.
Yeah, man. They're two, like I said, they're two different people. Cracking the whip, I believe they were called overseers at one time, but we're not gonna get into that. We're gonna keep it light. Just saying.
I mean like that, but yeah, I mean, some people still see it that way.
Overseeing the work plantation.
Yeah. The Wall Street Trapper still calls it, like his old thing was the plantation, but yeah, sorry.
For real, for sure. Yeah, man. But leadership is an important factor, especially when it comes to guys. A lot of us times we think of it just as a work thing, and it's really not. It really goes deeper than that, because are you the leader of your own life? Are you the leader of your family? Are you the leader of your relationship? Are you a leader in your community? And you're not always going to be the leader. Sometimes you're going to follow, just like at work, you're not, just like you're leading, you lead a crew. There's somebody who leads you. You got to follow their direction. So you got to know when the time is to step into that position and when it's time to fall back into. And that can definitely be, for some guys, it can hurt their ego to, even when you try and put them in a lesser position or a lesser role, or I have to follow or listen to somebody else. But everybody's got to listen to somebody, man. Everybody has to listen to somebody. That's always how it goes. You're not always going to be the leader or the boss in everything that you do, but can you lead yourself? Can you, like I said, can you lead your family? Are you a member of your community in a way that people can actually depend on you? Like, do people actually look at you moving forward, and you're not leading from the back, you're leading from the front? That's the bigger thing. Like that whip cracker, that's usually people on the back, cracking that whip, like, let's get going. A lot of times, if you're a leader, you're going to be leading from the front, showing how things are done, teaching how things are going to go. But a lot of times, you got to follow in your life to even become the leader of yourself as a man, because we all start out as little boys following, whatever man we can, see around us in our environment to show us how to become men who can lead the world ahead of us.
I like the quote that you got to be a good soldier before you can be a good general.
We cut you out a
You know
little
what I
bit.
mean?
So
You
you said
definitely
good
have
soldier
to
before you can be a
give.
good general.
Yeah, yeah. I like that quote. You have to.
Okay, we are losing Ed here for a minute, so I'm gonna hop right into things, man. While that gets sorted out, that's how it goes, man. We go to hop live, and
Can you hear me now?
that's when I can hear you, we can't see you, but we got your audio. But that's how it goes sometimes, when you go live, that's when the haters start to come and try and throw that negative energy on you to try and slow up your game. But we're fighters around here. We're not gonna stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Anyway, man. Yeah, so there are, certain areas of leadership that we really want to focus on. You have the self, you have you have family and relationships, and then you have work and business are usually the areas most guys really focus on, where you either step into that leadership role, or you may need to fall back into that follow role, depending on what you got going on in your life. So we're going to hop into this first one that we're going to be talking about, which is going to be a strong vision. The importance of finding with any strong vision. One thing I usually, and I say this to everybody I meet. I'm sure people are sick of hearing me say it, but knowing your why. Why are you doing what you're doing in your life? Is one of the most important questions you can ask yourself. Is why. It's been a game changer in my life. Edmund and I have gone through some different, not challenges, but different teachings and different using different tools to figure out what our why is, to really dig deep to figure out, why we do the things we do, why we do this, why we act the way we do with our family or our friends or in our relationships, or why we're so into martial arts. All these different things like that boils down to a very specific why in a lot of ways. So finding out what your why is super, super important, and one of those things that I tell every guy to definitely understand about himself. The more you can figure out what your why is, the easier time you're going to have in life, and the more intentional you're going to be in your life by doing some of these exercises that teach you what your why is. We did an exercise called 7 Levels Deep that really dug into our why, and like I said, why we do the things we do, to from
Mhm.
business to why we want to be successful. Why do we even want to have a business? Why do we want freedom from the work plantation?
Right,
And a lot
right.
of these different things like that. Why do we want these things? And the more you can boil that down and get below that surface level, when you ask somebody like, why do you want to be successful? It's like, oh, because I want the time freedom to spend more time with my family. Okay, cool. Why is that important to you, to have that time freedom so that you can do the things that you want to do? Why is that important to you? Oh, because, I come from a family that they didn't have that. My mom was always gone. My dad was always gone. Their time wasn't their own, except for maybe the 2 weeks they got vacation a year. And even then people were calling them one stuff. It's like, so they didn't really have the time. Their time wasn't their own. So I want to live a different kind of way, and raise my family a different kind of way. So they see my face. Okay, why is it important? And to go through these, it was just like that with the 7 levels deep, going through
Mhm.
each level and digging deeper and deeper into what that why is, and getting down to that base level where a lot of times people want just a few very simple things. If we really boil it down to it, a lot of us want security as a human being. A lot of us want either security, freedom, consistency in a lot of cases, and love is a big one. A
Right.
lot of us do the things we do because we think that it's going to earn us love, because we want it, because we're going to, and you can swap love out with value, whatever the hell you want to do. If love is like, one of those things for you, value. Okay.
Right.
A lot of us do the things we do because we think it's going to get us value or love, and it's going to give us that security of having those things. It's one of those things that we seek. So whether it be security in ourselves, or love for ourselves, or love from somebody else.
Mhm.
It boils down to why humans do the things they do. Once you figure that out about yourself, you can start to look at why you make the decisions you make, why you got into the field that you're in, why you went to school for what you went to school for, why you didn't go to school, why certain relationships worked and certain relationships didn't. Is like how you act with your kids, all of these things, how you
Yeah.
react to certain things at work, why why you're a barista at Starbucks and you cuss that lady out on Sunday because she asked for soy milk instead of oat milk.
Right.
It's like
Right.
what triggered you on that whole thing.
Why are you trying to change shit? Just get the order.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. It's like, just drink it,
right.
Karen.
Right.
But the more we can dig into it, the more we can figure out the why is, it really motivates you. It really lights you up. So when you start digging into these things and you want to go out here and conquer the world, whether it be in in your career, you want to reach the top, when you reach a certain level in that, or you want to start the business or start the family or be a leader in your community for whatever reason, when those hard times come, which they will, and it's not as go back to a conversation we had, it's like it's not as fun anymore. It's just like we can go back to those moments like, this is why I'm doing this though. It's like, yes,
Right.
I'm not enjoying this particular moment of this thing. Yes, it is a hard dreary task, and I feel like I'm getting I'm sledging through with my hands chained in the chain game right now, but I know there's a bigger reason why I'm going through this moment, and it's going to help me get through that because I know what my why is.
Right. It takes time.
It
takes
does.
time to develop what your why is. It takes time to develop the how as well. None of this is really like cookie cutter. Here, this is how you do it. And the times that they do give us that, like exactly like you said, why did we go to school? Why do we think we need to have a family? All these other things is because somebody told you that's the blueprint, and we're finding out very quickly that not everybody wants to follow that. Or it gets to a point where like you feel like you got successful to a certain point, and then you don't know what to do next because you never really got a chance to figure out what you wanted to do. But you know what I mean? So like,
living for other people.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like in your 30s and 40s is about that time, or what they would call like a midlife crisis, is when you did all the stuff that you were told to do, and now you need to figure out what you want to do. You know what I mean? So then people just go off and do kind of crazy stuff. But when you have that leader, that inner leader, that can kind of, or that inner mentor, or whatever you want to call it, that you can listen to, or that why, or that North Star, then you have like an actual path that you can follow, and you're not feeling like you're walking through the mist so much. You know what I mean? Because it takes time and energy to figure your way out of something, and it's going to take time and energy to actually build the bridge that you were able to figure out. So like, it all takes so much time, and reflecting on that's why we have the channel. That's why we sought out mentors and ended up in the same group, is because we were looking for leadership in certain pieces of our lives, and then now we want to give that back to somebody else, because like, man, it is hard when you feel like you're walking through a forest and you have no map and a dull machete and no fire. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just in total darkness. So when it comes to simplifying that vision, you know what I'm saying? Like Travis said, you want to have that vision, but how do you simplify it? How do you, if you want to get it down to a one-word thing or one statement or sentence, structure, great. But you need to be able to, like, to yourself, and also when you decide to explain it to others, because you really don't have to tell them your why, until it's time to kind of recruit other people to that cause. You know what I mean? Because people are always going to have their input on whatever that your dream is, your vision. That deserves to be protected. But if you're going to be a leader, then you have to start sharing those things with the right people. Not everybody, but just the right people, so that they're not becoming a hindrance to you. Yeah, not becoming some type of enemy to it, throwing a wrench in it. But when we came up with Warriors Way Home, originally our 4 pillars were like entrepreneurship, combat, I'm blanking, sorry. Entrepreneurship.
So mastery,
yeah.
masculinity, entrepreneurship, and combat.
Yeah, Mamek. So, and that was going to be like our slogan for it. But even in the time that we came up with that, and like literally right now, real time, that's evolving. So like your inner why, or your process or your perspective is always going to change, as it should. You know what I'm saying? You should be becoming the most refined version of yourself, period. And that whole process, if your mantras, whatever, motivation statements or whatever that you're making for yourself, those are going to change. Affirmations and whatever quotes you have on your wall, that's going to change as well. but it's because you're becoming that 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 version of yourself. You know what I mean? So I used to have, just as an example, I used to have a mantra that I memorized. I never wanted to write it down. Like, because some people like to, go through a notebook and write it down as many times so they can remember it. I would just like mentally say it over and over. And I did that for about 1.5 years. And I memorized this thing so that I could always have it as like that anchor point. I think we were in the power circle, and it was like the who are you, where you're going, and what is your truth. And I definitely recommend everybody like kind of have that for themselves as like a starting point, for a motivation statement or a mantra or whatever. But this thing changed over time to the point where, like, when I thought about it a couple of weeks ago, as early as a couple of weeks ago, I was like, no, this has changed. I'm not the same person I was when I wrote this. So I need to make sure that I'm keeping that elevated, because even if you come up with something really good, you can get stuck in that and kind of like put yourself in a box almost. So that also needs to be evolving, your affirmations, your power statements, whatever you want to call it. But it gives you a way to simplify whatever your dream is, that you can give that to other people and make sure that you know what that is within yourself.
For sure. Yeah, it's I always heard if you can't explain it to like a sorry.
You're good.
If you can't explain it to like an elementary school kid or a junior high kid, then you don't know it well enough. You need to go back to the drawing board. And it's like just when people say what they do. It's like, if you can't describe it to like your little nephew, like 10 years old, and he and have him understand it, then you're not explaining it well enough. And you don't really know. It's like, so you need to go back to that drawing board. Drawing bird.
Drawing birds.
I don't know. I got Southern just now. I don't know what happened right there.
Take it back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I know. Right there, you got to go back to that drawing board. Go back to education. You got to go back to the drawing board and really dig deeper, into that, because you probably haven't hit it yet. When you hit it, you'll know. Your why is not one of those things like that sounds good, like, or even that like looks good on a board. It's that thing that like hits you. That thing that's gonna, make the thing that's gonna damn near make you cry. That probably will make you cry. You will get emotional when you hit deep enough with this thing. When you strike gold, it will make you emotional. It's not one of those things that you're just gonna sit here and not feel anything from. It's not one of those things you just say. It's one of those things you feel. Now you're not thinking with your head when we get into these things. It's a heart space that you got to get into, which it can be hard. To be honest, it can be hard, and you can be, especially for guys, we don't tend to like to be vulnerable. It's like, I definitely can admit that I didn't, and I don't still. I still have a hard time with it, as I'm working on it. And just dragging shit out of me now. It's like at certain times where I'm like, stop it, you bastard.
My job.
I hate you. But it's one of those things where when you can dig deep like that and actually explain that vision, that's when you can really people feel that when you say it to them from that point, when you really have that why down, that vision for your life, and start to develop that, and those few people that you do give that to, that you open up and you explain that to, they can feel it. It's not one of those things that they even they're listening to you like, man, I could feel. Yeah, I mean, you've talked to people where it's like, man, it's like, I could tell. I could even. It's not even that I hear that you're passionate about it. I could feel your passion coming up off it. I'm excited about that now. It's like, man, how can I help you? You got me. But it's like I don't know how I can help you, but I want to help you do the thing that you want to do, because you just lit me up. Your passion it was infectious. It jumped from you and hopped into me.
And that's what it should do. That's kind of what those emotions are built for. And that's how you get armies. That's how you get, 7-figure businesses. That's how you just get a tight-knit family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody has to do that for each other, but there's always a central point in a family or a business or a CEO, grandma, whatever, where like that's the leader, or that's the person where it's like, I believe in you're making me believe in what you want to do, and now I want to help you with that, because I think that's worthwhile. That's how that energy comes together and pushes that idea forward and moves mountains, man. And and it's always interesting when you feel it real time. You know what I mean? I felt it earlier this week when I was talking to a friend of mine. I hadn't talked to him in a good minute, but he still had that like one idea, and we end up talking for hours about it. And it's, you know, you can see it happening in real time, like the growth that potential that it had. I definitely had it when we started doing Warriors Way Home, because I was just like, you know, I had never attached myself to something like that. And like we said, we had never even heard of the term honorable masculinity until we started talking about it. So it's like, damn, this could be, and now we're almost at 1,000 followers, you know? And it's just like, subscribe, please. But, you know, and check out the community. We put a community together, you know what I mean? And we have a course, and it's just like, the more we are able to pull out of this thing, like you're saying, the more it's pulling out of us. Like, I'm definitely feeling that, but it's making me a better leader at my job. It's making me want to be a better leader for what we're going to be doing here, because it's all practice. It's all the steps that are required to get you to where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
And you should be so lucky that people want to follow you and do this thing, because they could be following, you know, stupid people online that are just, you know, doing pranks and trends and wasting their time and wasting your time and your money.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could put that towards something that is going to not only make you better, but the people around you better, because, like, honestly, this is that thing. And this is why I love YouTube. And I think this is like this was the best case scenario, you know, for all its faults and all that. It's the best case scenario, because this is how a feeling can become so infectious that it reaches people all over the world, whether it was their intention or not. And then they become better people after that. So, like, you know, this is the ultimate bullhorn, soapbox, whatever you want to call it, but it's working. It's so clear that it's working, because everybody's got a course and a community and whatnot, and people are wanting that authenticity of, you know, who's really out here to help me, because most people are not.
Absolutely. Time for a shameless plug. We'll be right back. Hey guys, quick interruption to the episode. Let me tell you about the 8 Inner Gates, our personal growth and self-mastery course that's been showing men just like you how to get unstuck and take their life, relationships, career, or even business to the next level. The same principles that have helped us to find purpose, overcome depression, command respect, dominate in our careers, and become honorable men, we're now sharing with our brothers. So if you want more of this life, you know you're capable of achieving more of this life, and you're tired of just drifting through it, click down in the description of the episode or in the pinned comment and gain access to the first 2 lessons in the course, completely free on us. Click now and begin unlocking the gates blocking your success. Man, that was a handsome fellow there, and so eloquent. No Diddy, but man, just super handsome, eloquent,
you can say that.
an amazing dresser, nice teeth, man. And, you know, and I hear he's single, so ladies, you know, if you're about that life, that entrepreneur life, I'm sure. And you're a leader,
right? You lead the women, I'll lead the men. Power couple. Put in the comments below #power couple, and we'll set you up on an exclusive date with our boy Travis here, CEO of WWH Media LLC.
Oh man, that's terrible. Don't do that.
You sure? I was feeling on fire there for a minute.
I'm cool.
Oh man.
I'm gonna get all kinds of weird. The weirds are gonna come out now. Oh man, that's great. Hey darling, how you doing now?
Right.
Yeah, man. But you know, it's and using these times is really important when you do find your why. And one thing I do want to say before we hop on to the next thing is when you're doing these things, find people that you know are on a similar trajectory as you, on a similar path as you, who want to find these things out. And that's how, like I said, that's how we ended up, you know, linking up and, you know, even doing Warriors Way. And that wasn't even initial when we first started hanging out. It wasn't even that. It was like, oh, martial arts. Oh, martial arts. Yeah, let's go. Bow, bow, bow. There we go. And then it just went from there. And it's like, oh man, I could see potential in this, where this is going. It's like, okay, it's like, let's do this exercise. And then we did that. We did the 7 levels deep, and it was just a wrap from there. It's like, oh yeah. We got to do this now. Now we got to do this. Is be like, hey, let me talk to you about this thing.
Right. There are times where you look back and you're like, how did I even get here? You know what I mean? Because I never really thought
every
about
every time I see your name pop up on my phone, I'm like, how did this happen? I'm joking.
Mutual, but it's there's
Hey.
definitely I'm just like,
Touche.
but there's definitely times where, but you know what? That's how a lot of my, like, real shit. That's how a lot of my best relationships ended up, where you kind of have like one thing in common, and it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then the more you get to know that person, it's like, wow, we are not as alike than I thought, but it's good because I'm learning more about myself. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully they're learning more about themselves too. And it's like, I heard this quote earlier that was like, opposites don't attract, um, they create. You know what I'm saying? And like birds of a feather and all that stuff, yeah, that's cool. But like, how are you being challenged if there's not somebody who's in your corner but doesn't think the same way as you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, there's definitely, like you said, there was that pull, but it was like a safe pull. It wasn't like, oh, what are you doing this and that? What do you want to like? It was like, no, like, how did you get here as an individual? Let me hear and not judge, and then be able to share on the back end. And it's like, there's a bond that's obviously there. What could that forge? What could that turn into? And that's how like leadership is done as well. It's that relatability, and it's that building of integrity. Like, okay, I know this person now, and now I can trust this person. And oh, now we can fill each other's creative gaps.
Yeah.
And actually build something out of that.
Yeah. It's like, a lot of times having a vision, once you know the why, you can develop a vision big enough that fits other people's visions inside of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man. It's super interesting when you start digging in this thing and you start actually experiencing it. It's wild, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And one big piece that's really, really important with leadership is integrity. We talk about integrity so much. I feel, and I'm not going to stop harping on it because it's super important. But the importance of keeping your word, not just to others but to yourself. Especially to yourself. Some of the worst experiences I know I've had with bosses or leaders or anything like that, with people who did not keep their word to me. And it's on a regular, repeated basis that I knew, like, when they said something that they're not going to do anything with that. Nothing's going to happen with that, or they're going to forget in 5 minutes. It's like, or whatever it be, and just oh, we're going to go do this thing. We're really going after. We're committed to this thing. We're going to do it. And then a week later, it's like, we're not going to do that anymore.
Right.
Like, bro, what happened to all that fire and commitment you had? Just it's like 2 days ago. What happened to all that? It's like, oh, well, the wind blew and it changed my mind.
That's kind of how I feel about, like, no disrespect. That's how I feel about some churches, because there's a lot of sweating and fire and brimstone up on them pulpits, and then, like, what did Steve Harvey said? They ain't changed the doorknob on the church. You know what I mean? Like, where's all that money going? But at the same time, it's like, that's why you have to have that discernment and realize that the integrity of the person that you're listening to is more important than what they're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, having that, and for the most part, those people, if you really look into their lives and you probably dig into them, the reason they don't have integrity with work or community or any of these different things like this, probably because they don't have integrity with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably it starts there. It always boils down to self, whether it be the why or simplifying the vision or the integrity piece. It always boils down to self. If you don't have it with yourself first, the inside is always going to match the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
In some kind of way. It's like, if you're not if you're not in integrity with yourself, if you got a dirty house and a nasty bathroom, you probably aren't eating the best and taking care of your body the best either.
Yeah, for sure.
The outside is only a reflection of the inside. So people who don't keep their words to others, and or real flaky and say they're going to do something and never follow through on it. It's one thing if people are like, hey, you get busy and stuff happens and I got to remind you. That's one thing. But if you never keep your word, no matter what you say,
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, I'll call you back. You can't even call somebody back or text you or something like that.
Right.
You're not keeping your word to yourself either. I can just about guarantee that.
Yeah.
So the promises you made yourself, that thing you said you were going to start, that goal you said you were going to achieve, the fact that you were going to start going to the gym and start eating right or whatever it may be, you're going to start the business or ask for the raise or go back and get whatever education or certification you need to get that next level in your job and your career. That you were actually going to take this relationship seriously and actually, open up and be, vulnerable or whatever, and put yourself out on YouTube and, have somebody talk about that you're single or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
You said you were going to do these things and you ended up doing none of them.
Right.
So I'm not surprised that, you're not keeping your word to anybody else because you can't keep it to yourself.
Yeah. And especially you had touched on something, relationships. That's really being married for, it'll be 5 years this coming January. That personal integrity is everything. And it's for both. You know what I'm saying? Like if you say, dumb example, but if you say, I'm going to eat better, I'm going to start bringing salads in here and fruit and blah, 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 and all this stuff, and stop eating so many goddamn cookies. And you
stop eating the cookies, Edmund.
And you do it, then there's a ripple effect that happens in your house, because then it's a combination of like inspiration and shame, because they're going to be inspired to like, yeah, we should get our shit together and da da da. Like, well, you're not going to be the only one walking around here with a 6-pack. Or it's like, if you do, like, well, you do that, I'm gonna be over here eating my cookies. You start eating those cookies and you're like, man, she's down there working out, or he's down there working out and going hard, and I'm not doing nothing. I'm just over
up here being a fatty.
You know what I'm saying? So like, shame is also motivation, y'all. I'm sorry, but you will start to make those changes just because you don't want to feel either left out or ostracized. Yeah. So like and it can spread to your children too if you have kids, or your roommates or whatever. Like, we had a shout out to, oh my God, I can't believe I'm spacing on his name right now. A brother from the Power Circle. He did the push-up challenge earlier this year. I gotta look up his name now because he supports us so much. Shout out to him, and also the BE Transform shirts that he gave us. Those were great shirts. But he has started like a 30 push-ups for 30 days type of thing, and we were all posting our videos of them and stuff like that, and it was great. And then next thing I know, he had posted around day 20 or something like that, he had posted a video of him and 5 brothers in the park doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, it doesn't matter how small you think the thing is, because 30 days for him turned into 30 days for people in his neighborhood. His wife might have joined, his kid might have joined. And then the people in those houses of the guys who were also doing the thing started working out as well. So like, before you know it, you're infecting a whole community just because you wanted to do something for yourself. God forbid you put it on the internet, and then it becomes viral, and then everybody's doing it for 5 days. I don't know, it'll be a trend. But for those who want to stick with it, you've changed them. You have no idea what just happened. So that's why you need to have that personal integrity, because people are going to come back to that thing that gave them some type of fire or inspiration or shame to move into that new world that they're trying to build for themselves.
Yeah.
But they need some of that outside stimulus, and you might be lucky enough to be one of those people.
Yeah. Which is why we talk a lot about our wins, and we talk about our losses here on the channel and during these lives and conversations and different things like that in the community. Because it's that accountability piece. Is like, it's one of those things that we talk about. It's like, the last thing I want to be is a big ass hypocrite on the internet. That is the last thing I want to be. Is, you see me 5 years from now and nothing's changed in my life. It's like, oh man, it's like, just shoot me now.
Yeah, it's like one thing that I think about sometimes is like, you do get a lot of strangers from all over. Like we got our second biggest population in India for some reason, but you don't want some guy in India going, wow, this guy, I don't know him, he's a piece of shit. Like, you know what I mean? You don't want some rando just being like, what? But you know what? We got some comments on TikTok earlier this week. And they took something that we had said out of context.
Oh, I love it. Were like, I fucking love, but I love the hate. Bring on the hate.
It was like more 3 people who gave
more haters.
3 people gave us a paragraph, like each, about something that you had said or whatever. And all I said was, hey, love your comment. Go over to the YouTube channel and check out the full context and let us know what you think there. And then at least, at least 2 of them came, and I was like trying to. That is what I said.
That's what you said.
That's what I said. Take the tape.
I wasn't battling the haters on TikTok.
You were, but like because I don't get into the comments for real. So the one thing
I texted you. I was like, hey, I said we got these haters, man, and I'm fucking loving it. It's amazing. I was having such a good time. I love haters because if you're hating on me, it means I'm doing something right. It means I'm on track. That's how I think about it. Because it's like people don't hate on people who ain't doing shit.
True. This is true.
It's like, so it must mean I'm doing shit. It's like, okay, cool. Hey.
Yeah. Hey. And I took your advice. I was like, okay, if this is if there is no negative or positive, it's just energy.
And I got that from Soul, by the way.
Yeah. When he said shout out to Soul.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. It's like if you're neutral with it, you're like, hey man, everybody has their opinion. So do you. It's like opinions like assholes. Everybody has one.
Right. And so when I went to the stuff that I responded to,
I was just
the two comments that we got back. I think one of them was yours too, though. Two of the comments that we got back is that they actually went back and checked out the episode and came back and was like, "Yo, I was triggered. You know, you guys were killing it."
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, so I was like, we converted. Like,
he lost it. I was like, and here's the thing. I was like, that has nothing to do with us. The minute I saw it, I was like, that whatever is going on with him had nothing to do with us. He had some other shit going on. That was his shit. Had nothing to do with us. It's like we just happened to catch the bullet that he was firing out from, being as mad as he was. I was like, hey, bro.
Right, but I'm glad he did because like that's what happens is like you're opening up something whether they wanted to or not. You're opening something up in them, and now if what they hear on the back end of that is something that they actually need, not enjoy, but something that they need, because there's that difference between education and entertainment, right? So it's like, are you here to just play? Are you just trying to be clickbaity, or are you actually trying to give me something of value? So it becomes a subscriber or a friend or a new associate or whatever that you want to do, like whatever that is for you, but you are building out a network just by your words, your energy, your passion, your consistency, and your endurance. You know what I mean? It's all your business.
And credit to him, man, because it's like the fact that these, and not just him, but a lot of them came back and were like, hey, you're right. Checking out checking out the whole thing, gave me a whole different perspective on this. Or that guy was like, he's like, you're right, bro. It's like, it had really nothing to do with you. It's like, I saw it the first thing this morning, I just lost it. It's like, so you made a good point that I probably do need more context. Let me go watch the thing and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I was like, man, hey, man, big props, because a lot of people won't even, especially on the internet, will not come back and admit that they were wrong.
They'll just hold on to it
at all. So I was like, dude, big ups to you, man. I was like, you know what? That actually made me look. I was like, I actually might want to meet this dude. It's like if that's the type of dude who can actually come back on TikTok, on the the World Wide Web, and admit in the comment section on this video that hey, I was wrong for doing that, and apologize and be like, hey, I'll go take a look at it and and hey, you just want a new subscriber? It's like, bro, I might that sounds like somebody I actually want to meet. It's like as wild as the comment, and I knew it was a bit of trigger bait when I put it up. I didn't think it was gonna get that type of visceral reaction to it, but I knew it was. I was like, it's a little baity. It's like it was rage bait. But I was like, yeah, it's gonna rub some people the wrong way, but that's it's one of those things. But yeah, people were they had a lot to say about that. They had a lot to say about that video, but it's positive to see people still perfect examples of people moving with integrity. It's like being able to, it's like actually I took some time to look at myself based off what you said, because they could have just been like, fuck you, and went about their business. Or
they could have got that revelation and then just not said anything after that at all. They could have took their ball and went home. You know what I mean? But like you're saying, like I think the internet was made for us to connect with one another, but there's a lot of emotion to get through first, because everybody lives in their own story, their own bubble, their own head, so it's like, it's just that time where I think people are starting to open up a lot more.
Yeah.
But it takes time, bro. Not everybody's, we already know men are not as emotionally mature as some women. And it takes them a bit more to actually break that open. But like, you know what, crazy enough, I do want more of that, so that we can actually start to help people, because like you gotta, I don't want to say that but yeah, so But yeah, getting back onto
Well, I mean,
on
that's a part of leadership too.
yeah.
Is can you convert them?
Hmm.
It's like it's one thing to say you're a leader and you're your boss and you're a man among men and that. I was like, can you convert somebody who was against you, not on your side,
Yeah.
to take it even just take a different look, a different view, a different perspective on the thing that you're talking about that they absolutely fucking disagree with?
Hmm.
Can you even convince somebody of doing that?
Yeah.
Is like, because for me, I'm like, that's a perfect example of like true leadership is like actually converting people who actually hated your guts just 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like, okay, we're able to actually convert people, not even
Hmm.
just with our words, like, hey, go watch it. Because if they watched it and we sucked, they'd be like, no, they would have been like, no, you guys are fucking terrible. Why did I spend an hour watching this?
Right.
I hate you guys more now.
And that would have been funnier. Like, you know what? I hate you more now. Like,
I hate you more now after watching the video.
right.
It's like,
But you,
I hated you before, I hated you then for the clip, but I hate you
right.
so much more now.
Right.
I want to get your car. I want to find you.
Right. But you know what? It takes a little bit. It takes a higher level of not. And this is not against the guy that we're talking about, but it takes a higher level of thinking to come back down and be like, hey, like you said, this is not about me. Check out the full context, and once he has a chance to calm down and all that stuff. But as a leader, especially as a leader, you need to have that cool head that
Yep.
allows you to make those type of conversions and make those decisions, because you can see what they can't see, which is, hey, this is not even about the person who you think offended you. It's about whatever they said hit something in you that you weren't aware of or you weren't thinking about at the time, and you have a visceral reaction to it. But really, that same level-headedness that allows you to see the whole board allows you to make the best moves, which goes into our next thing, which is that skill of delegation.
Yep.
Can you, instead of being, a lot of people want to be the alpha male, the king of whatever the game is, but can you be the player? Stop trying to have that role of the alpha male and just be the player of your game, because you're actually playing a lot of games. You're playing the game of the man, the boyfriend, or the worker, or the husband, or the brother, or the father, or the whatever. And are you able to stand above all of these games and play them all correctly? You know what I mean? So stop trying to look at it as, okay, I'm the king and I got to make all these moves. You can't really move nowhere. You can only take one step at a time. But what you can do is, as the player, you can delegate what that step is to people around you that can be of service to you, because you're being of service to them. If you're a real leader, you had to do the real work of come to my team so that I can help hopefully build you up into something, but you're also helping me primarily with a thing. And I can, you help me help you, kind of thing. And that's how I look at it for my job, is that like, hey, my job is to get these projects done, but I obviously need help. And if you're my subordinate, then, or if you're just on my team, then hey, I will help you with professional development or whatever, personal development, whatever you want. But this is the primary thing we need to do. So like, I promise you, I'm going to help you, but we as a team, we have to get to this goal first. You know what I mean? And I can delegate work to that person because now they trust and believe that I'm going to be able to do something for them on the back end. It's like, it's about how you do that work that gets you those accolades and the mentors and all that type of stuff, because people see that you're actually teachable, or you do good work, or you're passionate, or you're inspired to do this thing. It's like, shit, I see that energy. I can do something with that. And I'm going to help this person get to where I am or further based off of that, because they actually want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even with, if you look at chess, the major pieces on the board, the king, the queen, and different things like that, can't move until the other pieces move.
Yes.
So you can't even make, you're calling yourself the boss or these different things like that. You can't even make a move till somebody else on the board moves.
You have to delegate.
And it's one of those things that a big piece of that requires trust. Is and we're talking like just even beyond work, even just in relationships, being able to are you in a relationship and by yourself? Because there's a lot of people who are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in relationships by themselves. It's like they got a warm body sleeping next to them, but they're not a team.
Yeah, some people think the person they're in bed with is competition.
Is the enemy.
Is the enemy.
A lot of people move like they're is like, Why are you're sitting really this you're willing to spend years, decades sleeping with the enemy? Bro, I wouldn't get any peace in that bed whatsoever. If I gotta keep one eye open because I'm worried about what you're gonna do and how
Yeah.
you're gonna do it, and I can't trust you to do the things that are gonna move us forward to help us
Mm-hmm.
win. Help
Mm-hmm.
me help you. Help
Mm-hmm.
me help you. If I can't trust you to
Right.
do the things to help us win in this life, if I gotta worry about I'm trying to win and you're trying to trip me up, or you're trying to win and I'm so jealous I'm trying to sabotage you,
Mm-hmm.
bro, that sounds like prison.
It's, you know
That
what?
sounds like you're in a jail cell with another convict wearing orange. You got to keep your eye on because you're worried about them stabbing you in your sleep. That's what that sounds like. That does not sound like marriage. That does not sound like a relationship. That sounds like fucking prison.
The revelation that I'm having is that it's trauma. It's a lot of trauma because if you can't be on the same team as the person that sleeps next to you or lives in your house. This goes for roommates too. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? If you can't be on y'all live under the same
Friends.
roof, friends, and y'all
Yeah.
can't even y'all can't cohabitate, that's trauma. That means you've never been able to trust anybody in your house. You don't
Yeah.
trust your parents. You don't trust whoever raised you, however your living situation was. You don't trust anybody because if you can't
Mhm.
trust the person that's closest to you, why are you sleeping with or getting in any type of physical arrangement or
Just spending time
cohab?
with shit.
Why are you spending time with somebody who doesn't get your best interest at heart? Even if you
Mhm.
don't know it at first, there's plenty of signs with over the course of weeks or months or whatever. But you just need to
Mhm.
be aware of that. It's like if somebody says, "Oh, move in with me," but they start eating all your shit, why? why are you why are you choosing to have somebody like that around you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I've seen plenty of, but I've been a part of friendships or relationships that are broken up because it's like we're at odds constantly, and it's like
Mhm.
why?
I think you said frenemies is what I heard you describe
Frenemies.
it as. One, I was like frenemies. I said, fuck that, bro. No, absolutely no. Nope.
Some of the people that I've loved the most
Absolutely not.
have
No
been
frenemies.
frenemies, bro.
Nope.
You
Nope.
know
Because
what I
then I got to
mean?
execute you, and then no, nope.
But yeah, I had a male friend group where that's what the basis of it was. You know what I mean? It was like it
Mm,
was just a well, it was a lot of I called it like no honor amongst thieves because there was a lot of like we if something happened we got your back, but it was mostly like with women that there was a lot of like conflict, let's call it. You know what I mean? And so when things would happen and somebody would like basically be plotting on the other person, you can't get nothing done with that. I can't build a business with somebody like that. I can't have you around women that I care about or just other friend groups like that if I know you're gonna be, backstabbing me and stuff like that, talking shit. So it's like why then remove yourself, find people, and it may take time, find people that will be on your team and on your side and move accordingly.
mm,
But it's not without its value because you need to know what the opposition looks like. You need to know what that betrayal feels like so that you don't do that to somebody else too. Because I had never learned that. And so I did it the hard way and ended up like, well, why would you do that? Like, well, you did this. And I'm like, oh shit, I did, didn't I? So you end up like you gotta clean up your behavior, man.
yeah, I get where you're going with it. Um, the guys I've had in my life who I quote unquote were friends with, the minute you betray me, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
You're dead to me. Period.
Mhm.
It's like because I don't want to have to watch people in my life.
Facts.
I don't want to have people in my life that I gotta watch my back. I
Oh, it's
gotta
stressful.
you're behind me and I gotta be making sure you're not doing anything funky back there or something like that. It's like
It's
I
stressful, I'll tell you
I
that.
I just like I can't imagine. That sounds terrible. It sounds like something that makes you lose your hair right there. That
Yeah.
does not sound
No, for sure.
that does not sound cool at all. You can How can you go out and have a good time when you got to watch this dude? I not only do I got to watch the other dudes that I don't know, I got to watch the dude that I do.
So it wasn't
Nah,
like
bro.
it's so there wasn't a lot of good examples to start with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you really, especially in high school and some in college, but mostly high school, you have to like feel your way through some of that
Mhm.
because it is very superficial. It is
Yeah,
very, like it feels like prison, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because you're learning yourself. Nobody's taught you how to learn yourself, and everybody's trying to learn each other and trying to just not get embarrassed or fucked over or whatever. So
Mhm.
like it is very much of that. But I can't say that I'm not grateful for it, man, because now I've cultivated a much better circle.
Yeah.
But you do got to go through that shit sometimes so that you can actually figure out, what do you want.
Now, don't get me wrong. I've been completely fucked over by friends. It's happened.
Just forgiving too much on my side. Really.
It's just that afterwards, I'm like, oh, you don't exist in my world anymore.
Yeah.
No. I'm completely done with you. Because if I have to keep you around, then that's one. Everybody is depending on what level it is, everybody gets one. It's like, but two, we're done.
Yeah,
we're done here because this is not going to end well. It's like, and I can't do what I need to do, and I can't go where I want to go with you because you're going to be the one tripping me up. It's very obvious that you don't, by the way you're moving, the way you're acting, you don't want me to win.
Yeah.
And I already have a battle on my, with myself trying to get me across that finish line. Is like, I don't need somebody, actively pulling me down. And same thing with like we talked about, same thing with relationships or, friendships or work or different things like that. You're going to find those people who are the people who you're going to find are trustworthy. That's a much smaller group than the people you're going to find that you got to watch.
Yeah.
Who are gonna come through, and you might not be able to vet everybody fully. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
People are gonna come through and they're gonna, present themselves one way. You and I know, it's like I've had, over the last year, stuff has happened where I was just like, what the hell? It's just like things in relationships seem like they were, so good and valuable and these different things like that, and shit just changed out of nowhere. It shit happens, man. But at the same time, it's one of those things where now as we grow, when you gain that integrity with yourself, you don't accept that bullshit anymore. Now, like some of those same guys that you knew back then probably don't even have your number now.
They don't. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's like, nah, bro. It's like, nah, I'm moving in a different way, and I learned that lesson. Learn. We go through, but learn the lesson, bro. Please learn the lesson.
Yeah, for sure.
Learn it as quickly as possible, because the longer you spend time with people who are not loyal, who don't move with integrity and everything like that, you keep those people in your life, you're either going to become them, more like them, or they're going to keep tripping you up and make it much harder for you to achieve the things you want to achieve, because you either influence somebody else or they influence you. There's no other way around it.
Yeah, and what I'm thinking of is that it's very hard it's hard to do the reverse. It's hard to be like, let's just say, the good egg or good apple in a bunch and try to get the rotten apples to be good. You know what I mean? That you can inspire one or two of them, but let's be honest, like whatever the majority is the thing that's going to end up affecting the minority.
I can tell you how you do it. You fucking leave.
Well, yeah,
you leave. That's how you inspire people. When you don't even say like fuck you, none of that. You just disappear. You just gauze, you change your number, you block people, stuff like that. When they see you next, like, hey, bro, you just disappear. It's like, hey, bro, I couldn't live that way no more.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't keep doing the same bullshit that we were doing. I couldn't keep, living that life, getting drunk or fighting or doing stuff that was going to end up in a jail cell or whatever, or messing with, we're all messing with crazy women and all these different things like that. We're always broke. I couldn't keep living like that. I wanted something more for my life. So I had to cut and run. I had to go.
Yeah.
It's like I had to go. It's nothing against you guys. I wish you guys the best, but I know where I wanted to go, and I know I couldn't get there by still being the same man I was in that circle. I had to change. So when you change, a lot of times your circle has to change, and it's unfortunate you can't take everybody with you. Some people will see that and be like, and be inspired by that. I'd be like, you know what? I felt the same thing, but I didn't have the cojones to do the same thing that you did. I knew I needed to leave like 2 years ago, but I didn't.
You can't.
My life is chaos now, and now I'm changing.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You can't outpace your environment.
No.
You know what I'm saying? No. If you're on the same block forever, then that's where you are, and that's what you are until you get to a new environment. You know what I'm saying? So
be the first. And that's part of being leader. A lot of times the leader goes first.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes
you find the landmines first, you figure out the path first, you go broke first, because you can't let your team go broke. You know what I'm saying? They depending on you. So you usually have to come out of pocket extra for whatever. Like I remember one time I was doing door-to-door sales, and our manager took us out to lunch. Yeah. And I had said something goofy. We were at Tim Hortons, and we just getting donuts and coffee and all that type of stuff. And we're sitting down and we're having a conversation. He was like, "What do you want to do in life?" And I was like, "I want to be the boss." And so he slid me the check. And I was like,
delivered.
Right. And I was like, wait, why? I ain't no money. I work for you. And he was like, yeah, you want to be the boss? You got to pay the check. And I was like, oh, man. So,
well, not today. Cost to be the boss, sir.
Exactly.
You got to pay the cost. Yes. So sometimes you got to be the first, man. Sometimes it's the first in your friend group. Sometimes it's the first in the relationship, like you're talking about. You know, it's like you want to get fit. If both of you guys are chunky, is like, and you want to change that, is like sometimes you're not going to have that partner by your side doing it. Sometimes you got to go first.
Yeah.
You know, even in like I said, in relationships, even in business, like you said, you gotta be that one that's willing to eat, and a big one in your family. A lot of times you gotta be that first one in your family to go do the thing that either people didn't think was even possible, or they were too afraid to go do.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you gotta be the first to be like, nah, I'm not gonna be a obese diabetic with, that's getting limbs cut off and is always broke and stays in the hood. Nah, yeah. I'm not gonna be eating government cheese for all my life. You know, it's like, nah, I want something more. I want something better, but you never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know what's on the other side of that. You don't know what's on the other side of that wall. The door you got to walk through.
Yeah,
bro. If you really want to be that fucking leader, you really want to be that boss, you got to walk through that door and not know what's on the other side, man.
Yeah, and do it fearlessly. You got to have that heroic.
Oh, you be afraid. Be fucking afraid.
Well, I just mean like not fearless, but you have to supersede the fear.
You have the
courage. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you have to have that.
The door.
Mm. Yeah, because one thing I'll tell you what, one thing that bothers me, it doesn't like keep me up at night, but it's like in the back of my head, is that as a dad, you don't want to fail. You know what I mean? It's very, because we're talking about family. I've seen friends whose dads were basically failures. You know what I'm saying? Not that they weren't there, but they didn't do anything with the fact that they were there. They still didn't teach them the things that they maybe wanted to be taught, or that they needed as an adult.
They were one seat.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or like, it's just, he was there because he had that duty to, or he felt the responsibility, but he didn't know how to put it together either. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're one generation away from like really changing your entire lineage. Let's talk about that, because most people don't really realize, like, there's a lot of first generation millionaires popping up in the world now. And they say it's like it's never been easier, but like the hard part is getting past yourself. Once you get past yourself, everything else is cake. And that's what I'm really seeing, but it's an everyday thing. You got to get past whatever you think your limitations are on a daily basis.
And then figure out that you just found some new ones.
You know what I mean? So like, new levels, new devils. But
yeah.
But once you see what everybody says, like, once you the people that I watch, they say like, once you make the first $1 million, that's the hard part. And then because now you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so now their kids are never gonna have to worry about shit. And I think they should still install some type of game plan or roadmap for the type of mentality you need to have. But as far as like having to eat government cheese and all that shit's in the past. Those kids will never know, hopefully, what it's like, because that generation can always fuck it up. There's always, the one generation, and then the next generation, blows the money. But you hope that what you're doing now matters to the next generation. And I know the generation before me mattered. I know that I matter. I want him to be impressed. I want my son to be impressed with what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. It's having the one thing we were talking about was having the capacity to influence and motivate others.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're talking about. It's not the things you say that will motivate and move the world. It's the things you do. That's talk is cheap. Everybody can fucking talk. If you look at the internet and Instagram and all these different things like that, everybody's a success.
Everybody is talking.
Everybody's a ladies' man. Everybody has a yacht and a Lambo and is making money and all these different things. Like, everybody's got that when the camera's on. But when that shit goes off and you see how they move and you see the trauma and you see the darkness and you see how the unhappiness, the issues, the havoc and the chaos in their relationships, is like that last, that stack of money says last,
Yeah.
It's just like that Lambo is because he doesn't feel, good about himself, so he had to rent that, even though it's this last $500, but he needed to flex on Instagram so people don't think that he's broke, even though he is.
Yeah.
But
He needs you to
he's
feel
afraid
good
to
about.
admit that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's afraid, or no, I'm sorry. He needs you to feel good about what he's doing, so he feels good about himself.
Yeah. It's like, so having that, if you look at social media and all these things like that, man, you would think that everybody's traveling and having all the sex that they want and got all the money and is enjoying all these different things like that and is eating all the good food and has got 3 girlfriends and all this other BS, man, and it's like, all stoic and cut up and all these different things like that, even though they're using filters and they got abs and they're unhappy, they're fat, sick, unhappy, and broke.
Mm-hmm.
And they're that girl you saw on Instagram gave him herpes.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Everything on them is fake. They had abs installed last month. They're getting an ass injection next week. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
It's all a show, and it's like, who are you trying to convince? Because obviously it's like, are you trying to convince me, or are you trying to convince you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to convince you that you're okay, that you're not broke, that you're not all these things, that you're not, so it's not, the words mean nothing.
Yeah.
Somebody telling me that they're all right, or that they're happy, or that they're rich, or whatever. It's like, no, I want to see how you move.
Mm-hmm.
How do you move? You tell me that you have integrity, and me watching the fact that you have integrity are two very different things. I want to see that. I want to see the things that, and that's one big thing I just do by habit is I probably watch more when I'm as beyond me talking as much as I do on internet. When I meet people in person, I probably watch more than I talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I want to hear what people are saying and watch how they're moving.
Yeah.
That'll tell me way more about you than me having a 2-hour conversation with you.
Yeah.
Me sitting here, even next to you, and watching how you move, how you talk to people, how you act for 20 minutes will tell me more than a 2-hour conversation with you.
Facts. If you know how to, do that behavioral analysis, if you know how to read people, if you know how to just feel that energy of like, I think you're full of shit.
Let me just pay attention.
I'm not a doctor, but I think you're full of shit.
It's like you're saying all these things, but your body language tells me that you're insecure. It's the way that you're sitting. You're not sitting confident. You feel like you got to be the loudest one in the room when the loudest one is usually the weakest one in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Learn that walking in bars. The guy that's, yeah, man, I'll fuck all you up. Da, 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 da. Who wants to fight? That guy can't fight. He's the one who's gonna get knocked out at the end of the night.
And he didn't even have to do all that.
By
That's
a girl.
The crazy part.
Who can't fight.
She gave him equal rights.
Dressed in pumps.
Right. I don't know why people think that that's necessary, but it's not. You know what I mean?
Because they're afraid. Because they're
right. But how is it? How is that fear pushes you to be extra when nobody really? Nobody really gives a shit that you exist. But we all have to exist. We all have that ego and that we have to be a part of a community.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody's really looking at you as an individual. Like everybody's worried about themselves. Yeah. And they're in their own head trying to not look stupid and all that. So you're so afraid that you need to posture and peacock to make sure that nobody messes with you. And really, that's the signal that's the bat signal that goes up that you're going to get robbed or messed with or whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's like the flashy ones get robbed. The ones who, what's that old dude from, I think it was Fresh and Fit, whatever. He was woofing, and then a dude came to his gym and ended up going back to jail because he hit him with a plate. None of that was necessary.
Yep. Whole life. You're a multimillionaire, got this amazing life, and you got it over because you wanted to fight, because you decided to fight some dude in the gym because you wanted to fight the whole world on the internet, even though you have all the things that all these guys want, supposedly.
And they're trying to follow you to get it.
Except for one thing, peace.
Right.
That's the one thing he didn't have. You could tell he did not have fucking peace with himself.
Right.
Because he came off, honestly, as if you got to tell me how badass you are, how much money you got, how tough you are, how many women you got, the only thing you're telling me is how insecure you are.
Yeah. All I want is
the only
peace.
Thing you're telling me.
That's all I need, bro. Is I just need peace of mind, and I can do the rest. That's all. I think that should be the goal.
So the people who are doing that, I have to. because I feel like I'm not anything, I'm a piece of shit, whatever it may be. I think the rest of the world can see that. So I got to do whatever I can so the world doesn't see that I'm a piece of shit or that I'm nothing, because I already feel like that on the inside. So I need to. So for me doing the opposite will show the world that I'm not that thing that I know I am on the inside, or that I feel that I am on the inside. Because you're probably not, but I feel like I am on the inside.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that's really all it is, and that's not leadership, bro. That's not leadership.
That's posturing.
You know, you teaching other people to act that way, you teaching other guys that, you know, this is the way to, you know, this is what, you know, this is what a masculinity looks like, and all these different things like that. Yeah, you got to be, you know, this tough guy that's ready to fight at the drop of a hat and da 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 da. All you're telling me is you're scared, because the dogs that bark the loudest are usually the scared ones. You notice that big dog in the corner that has, you know, that's just, you know, it's kind of sitting there. There's not, you know, sees you walk into the yard, is just like, we'll just walk up to you, nice and slow, and then rip you apart. That's the guy you need to worry about, not the chihuahua, rah, 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 and then you move towards and he runs off. It's like, that's not the ones. The loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. It's just, I would say probably about 98% of the time.
So let me ask you this, as we're wrapping up here, what made you want to be a leader? And answer that while I go get my charger real quick.
I didn't want to be. It's not one of those things where I was like, oh yeah, I want to be this leader, this guy people look up to. I just realized there was certain things. I just realized what I wanted to be. The thing I've been trying to do my entire life is to be the guy that I wish had shown me how to be a man.
Right.
You know, that's pretty much it. Is to be the dude that I wish I had coming up before, you know, when I didn't know what I was doing, when I didn't know how to move, when I didn't know how to act or express myself, or all these different things like that. Is to be that guy. You know, is like that's really all I've wanted to be. Is me. My whole life has been me chasing that guy. Is me chasing that, you know, me chasing that best version of myself. Yeah, that guy that, whether it be the guy that, you know, that guy that wasn't there to raise me up as I was a kid. You know, the guy that was proud of me, or showed me how, you know, what it means to be a man, an honorable man. To move in that way. I've been chasing that guy all my life, and because I've been chasing that, going after that, trying to become that, it changed me, and it changed me into a guy that, by accident, people respected. To be honest, because it wasn't one of those things where I really wanted to move, because I was super insecure. I didn't think people liked me or looked at me or saw me or any of these things. So I wasn't seeking to be like anybody's hero, guru, you know, leader, or any of this bullshit. To be honest with you, that people are like, you know, they put in their, you know, Instagram titles.
They bet on you.
It's like people just watched and saw how I was moving, and me just trying to be a better man. Is really all it was, and just, you know, trying to be the best version of myself. It's like that's the thing I've been chasing, and because I've been doing that, like I said, people would, you know, be like, "Mr. Man, I respect what you're doing." It's like, what do you mean? Because I haven't told you what I've been doing. It's like, oh, I've been watching. That's what I mean by people. Somebody's always watching. People watch what you do, not what you say. It's like, because I've experienced that. People have come up to me and like, who I had no idea, or have been watching and seeing what I've been doing. I'm thinking I'm moving in secret and doing, you know, and doing these things, and, you know, trying to do, even when like helping people or doing things like that, not coming on and telling, I gave this guy $1. It's like, I bought him lunch. Shout out, this homeless guy. Right. Yeah. Look at me.
Shout out to me.
Look at me handing this homeless guy a sandwich. Look at this. Praise me for this. I wasn't doing all that shit. You know, it's just like, if I did something, it was like, hey, bro, here you go. Boom, boom, boom. What's your name? Cool. All right, man. You have a good one. And walking through the parking lot, and, you know, the more you do this stuff, the more you'll start seeing it happen. and having like a guy come up to you or a lady come to you when you're on your way to, when you get to the car and be like, hey, I saw what you did.
Yeah.
It'd be like, what do you mean? It's like, and thinking in my head, like, oh, they saw that thing. They saw me scratching. It's like, it's like
Right.
they saw me trip when I came out of the store. What did you see? It's like, nah, man, nah, I saw what you did with old boy. It's like, oh, I didn't know anybody was watching that.
Yeah.
Well,
There
that's
was
not why I did it. It's like,
yeah.
but they're like, you can. I could tell you were raised right. I could tell you, you move in a certain type of way,
Mhm.
and it's just like, it's almost like it was the right thing to do. I just felt like it was the thing to do.
Right.
I would want somebody to help me in that situation, or somebody I knew. So
Yeah.
I felt like it was the right thing to do. So I went and did it. It's like leaders don't do things because it's the cool thing to do, or because it's the thing that's even going to benefit them. They do the thing because it's the thing that needs to get done.
Mhm.
You see an old lady crossing the street and you see her having a hard time. You know that light's about to change, and you still sit in your car and you could do something, but you choose not to. In my mind, you failed that day.
Mhm.
It's like, why didn't it? It's like the minute if I was to drive by that lady, I'd be like, why didn't I help her?
Mhm.
Why? What? That's selfish of me not to do that. I could have. It wouldn't have killed me to, put my hazard lights on and, help her across the street. Traffic would have stopped even if they didn't. Fuck you guys. It's
Right.
it wouldn't have killed it. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, it wouldn't have killed me.
Mhm.
It's like, why would I do that? It's
Yeah.
like that's it, because it's the right thing to do. It's the thing that needs to get done.
All right, Spike Lee. Yeah. Always do the right thing.
I'm just saying. No, I'm not, and I'm not saying I always do the right thing, because I don't. I absolutely don't.
Right.
I'm human. I have, done things that I'm not proud of. I've hurt people. I've done these things.
Mhm.
But I like to think that in my life I've done more good than I've done harm.
Right. And that's all we really can aim for.
Yeah.
We should try to do more good than we do bad.
Yeah.
Or whatever we consider bad. I tried to subscribe to like there's no good or bad. Everything is just because what's good for you could be bad for me, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
It really is about that perspective. But
so I guess to summarize what you asked is
yeah.
Leading myself, trying to lead myself, trying to live a life that I'd be proud of is really all it's been for me.
Yeah.
It's like, at the end of the day, it's like, am I proud of what I did today?
Mhm.
Did I actually help somebody today? Can I be satisfied? If this was my last day, would I regret not helping that person or not doing the thing? And it doesn't even need to be anything big. It's like, you got extra water, handing somebody an extra water. It's a 90 degrees outside and they're sitting on the corner holding a sign. Maybe you're not gonna give them some water.
Right.
It's not gonna kill you, bro.
Right.
It doesn't cost extra to do the right thing. And just trying to live a life you can be proud of. Honestly, a lot of times you accidentally will fall into those roles of being a leader and doing these different things like that, because if you're willing to be the one to jump out, to make the change, to before anybody else, to do the thing you're afraid of doing is a big one, because so many people hesitate so much. If you're that one who's just like, you're on that cliff. I was in Jamaica with some cousins of mine, and they were cliff diving, and they had a one you could jump off of. They had a little one, like 5 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet, and they had another one that was like 30. And so I was like, I want to jump off that one. So I went up there, and they have the sign that describes all the stuff that could happen to you. It's like broken neck, broken spine, ruptured spleen, is like dislocated testicles, all this kind of crazy stuff. Stuff that could happen to you on this sign.
Wow.
You didn't even sign a waiver. I was like, this is my kind of place. They didn't even have me sign a waiver. You read the sign, he knew what could happen. You can't sue us now.
Right.
Like, so there's
not even that. You just saw how high it was.
Yeah.
That's on you.
Yeah. It's like, this is your choice, bro. You're taking your life in your hands right now. Literally.
Right.
So it was this guy in front of me. And he was going to jump. So I'm waiting, and, the whole crowd starts crying. When you see somebody about to jump, everybody stops. Of course, everybody's like, stop, watch this guy fuck himself up. It's the human way.
Watch this do shit real quick.
It's the human way. Like, let's watch this guy destroy his whole life. Let's watch this real quick.
Right.
So the guy in front of me, they're counting down, and I'm like 3, 2, 1, and he goes to jump and he stops, and he's looking down, and you can see him hesitate, and I can see him like his whole body tense. He's like, you see his butt go, and he stops and he backs up, and the guy's like, oh, boo. And the guy starts booing him. So I was like, oh, calm down, guys. Let's let him go again. And he goes to go again. It's 3, 2, and he does it again. And I'm like, dude, if this dude does it one more time, I'm gonna kick him off this cliff. It's like, I want to go. Come on, I'm hungry. Yeah. I just want to jump off this cliff real quick and take my, take a life risk,
right,
and go about my business.
Right, go to the burger.
I either want to meet God or have fun, one of the two.
Right. So why not both?
And so he finally went the third time. Ended up fucking himself up. He jumped off, was real scared, and his legs came up like this. And so instead of how you have your legs tucked and your arms tucked, his legs came up like he was sitting in a seat position, came down butt first. And I was like, "Oh, bro!" People were like, "Oh, his butt." I was like, "His nuts." Bump his back. I said, "His nuts."
His nuts with the ocean, like
yeah. So I saw that, and I went up to it, and I'm not gonna lie, it was fucking high. I was like, you get up there, you're like, oh, that's a lot higher than look from down there. Yeah. And you get to the edge, and I'm looking on the edge, and I'm like, that's ways down. And so I back up, and he's like, all right, guys, you ready? And the crowd starts going. It's like 3, 2, and I took off and just jumped. And all you hear on the way down, and my cousin got a video of it, crazy fucking American, and splash. And she's like, why'd you jump at 2? I was like, I wasn't waiting till 1. I said, they were gonna boo me up there. I said, because honestly, I was nervous about it. I was like, I could say afraid. I was a little freaked out, especially after you jumped. I was like, oh, this is a bad idea. Too late. But if I had stayed, the fear would have kicked in. It's like I could feel it like tapping me, like, hey, this is this kind of high, bro. It's like that guy just hit his nuts. Don't you want kids? It's like, you sure? Are we sure we want to do this? And I was like, nah, I can't let that take hold, because I feel it. I feel that I'm afraid of it. It's like, I need to just go.
Right. So,
being willing to be afraid of something, but do it anyway, and be that one that's willing to jump out sometimes before you're ready. Yeah. Sometimes when you got nobody who's willing to go with you up there, because we're not doing that shit. That's on you. Right. It's just like, and even watching somebody fail at it right before you go to do it, and still, being like, I'm willing to still take the risk on myself and go and be that. So a lot of times leading is that, man. It's super uncomfortable. You're not always going to enjoy it. You're not going to get the flags and the cheers and get to show all off on Instagram all the time. Sometimes it's going to be like we talk about, hours and hours of you sitting behind a computer at 3 o'clock in the morning going, oh shit. It's just like, it's not always going to be fun. It's not going to be glamorous, but it's going to be worth it. It's like, if you can move in a way to where you can respect yourself at the end of the day for going balls to the wall. Yes. And I mean that. There's going to be somebody out there watching who's going to respect you for that. Yeah. And honestly, that's what leadership is. Leadership isn't something that you say about yourself, or even a title that you give yourself. Leadership is by your actions and by your ways, you lead other people, because they're the ones watching from behind you. Right. They realize that if he can do it, I can do it. That's what makes a leader. Not you calling yourself one, not you calling yourself a boss. It's people who actually are willing to follow you is what makes you a leader.
100%. Yes, sir. So as we wrap up here, we definitely wanted to, we got a comment from Angel Sanchez. What's going on, brother? Hope you enjoyed the stream and everything. We had a quote that we definitely wanted to end on as well, is that a great leader doesn't always inspire us to have confidence in what they can do. A great leader inspires us to have confidence in what we can do. You know what I mean? And it just it's that thing of, yes, somebody has to go first. Yeah. But as long as you can clear that pathway just a little bit, enough to be able to see the next step, the next mile, the next hurdle, then somebody's willing to follow behind you, because they're like, okay, they and I made a post about this I think last week, where like, you can go where everything is all paved and smooth, but you're gonna go where that person wants you to go. And the majority of people are going to go are going to go to a path that is already done for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't want to be an entrepreneur. They don't want to be, somebody who is making waves and a founder of something or a pathfinder or whatever you want to call it. They don't want to discover anything. They want it to be done for them, or you can go that more narrow way where there's not a lot of people. Maybe there's like one or two people ahead of you that can show you how to do a thing.
Mhm.
And if they're willing to even do so, because there's those who get on that path and then they gatekeep too. They don't want anybody else to have that type of success because nobody showed them how to do it. So which means that nobody showed them how to share. You gotta know how to share that knowledge because you want people to share knowledge with you, right? You want to know how to get to the bag. You want to know how to be a better man. You want to know how to, get the girl of your dreams. And then you see somebody with all this and you're like, hey man, how did you get there? I'm trying to be like you. And they're like, fuck you. What? Why? you can you real life feel hurt behind that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But if you can find somebody who's willing to, hey man, this is how I did it. This is what I would do if I was in your situation, and not even tell you what to do, but just give you game.
Yeah.
Just to be like, hey, this is how this is. Ask you questions, get you to think about how to get to that next level, or thinking above or beyond, or even just to save you a couple of steps.
Yeah, man.
Save you a couple of pit holes, or things that could hold you up. And even when you get to that point, because everybody gets there, everybody gets to that point where they just don't see a way out. And they're like, I think I'm just going to quit. And they're like, no, you started this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Keep doing that thing, because they can understand that if you can push through that funk, then you're going to have more strength to get that thing done. And you're going to feel better for it, because I love J. Cole's quote, if you let them kill your dreams, it'll haunt you. Regardless, you gotta get this thing done.
Mm-hmm.
Or die trying.
Yeah, man. And it's like we talked about. It's you said something key is following somebody else. Just because you're the first to do it in your circle or your family or your even community, doesn't mean you need to be the first to do it. We're not doing anything new.
Nah,
we're not the first ones to hop on the internet and talk the shit that we're talking. It's like we watched. How long did we watch Immortal Minds?
Yeah.
How long did we watch all these other people doing these things? It's not like we're coming with, what would be new that we could do to be the first to ever do it? Hop on the internet and talk.
Right. Nobody say words. Nobody's heard me say words like I say words.
Yeah, nobody said words
as good
we
as
were
I
the first
do.
to say the words on the internet. The first. It's like, no, to give advice, to tell men how to do something and not to do this thing. It's like we were the first ones to ever do this thing ever. No one was before us. We were the first, the last, the only. No. Yeah. Were we the first in some of our circle to do what we're doing? Yes. But we weren't the first around us. We saw something. It's like, oh, we can do this. It's like, because we watched him do it.
Yeah.
We saw him do it. We saw how they did it. We saw what worked for them. They told us what didn't work for them because they saw us taking action. So they're willing to be like, hey, bro, like you said, give us the game. Be like, hey, you guys should probably do this. Maybe not do this. Do more of this. Do less of this. Do this thing. Maybe even try this thing. I don't know. I've never tried that before, but that might work for you.
Yeah.
It's like we watched other guys be the leaders.
Yeah.
And just, realize that, okay, if they were able to do that, then it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I need to know. All I need to know is it's possible.
Right.
I don't need to know. It's like, well, give me 100% guarantee. Okay, here's your 100% guarantee. You're gonna die. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only guarantee you get in this life is like death and taxes. That's the only the only things guaranteed in this world is death and taxes. That's it.
Yeah.
Guarantee you that it's gonna work, that you start the business or the relationship or you doing whatever is gonna work out. There's no guarantee that that's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
But all I need to know is that it's possible. It's like, it's
Mm-hmm.
possible for us to start a channel and to grow it and to help guys like we got helped watching some of these same videos. It's possible for us to do some of the same thing in our own way, in our own unique way, our own spin on it, our own perspective from our direction. It's possible for us to do this. Will it work? Are we gonna try it? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
all you can do is try.
It's like, we're leading in this instance here, but we weren't the first to do it. And you don't need to be. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's plenty of people who learn how to do this shit. You want to start a business, hop on, you're already on YouTube. After you watch this video, go watch the video on the thing you want to do.
Right.
I want to learn to become a chef. Well, go figure out how to be a chef. You have AI. You can ask the question. Go watch the video. Now learn how to do it. I want to get married in the next 6 months. Well, go watch a video on it.
There
Talk,
probably is
talk
a
you know,
video
talk
that you
talk
can
to
see.
Edmund about getting married. I don't know shit about that one.
All you go was yes, dear.
See, I would have let you.
you you you
I would have
will you
let you
will
spray on that one. I would have
you
told you
will
the
yes,
wrong thing.
dear
That's why you don't
yourself
ask me that question.
into bliss.
That's why you don't ask me that question, because I would have told you the wrong thing. If that's the answer, you would have
Right.
got the wrong one from me.
When you're tired of fighting, just go yes, dear.
You would mess around and sleep on the couch if you listen to me. So don't ask me that
See?
question. Ask him.
Pick your battles. That's all you can do.
But
But
you
yeah,
know, yeah, find those people leading now. Everybody's going to be a leader and a follower at certain points. You're going to flip flop between.
Yeah.
So there's certain times when we lead,
as you
certain times
should.
when we follow.
Hmm.
It's like I've never been married, so I'm like I asked Edmund a lot of questions. Like, hey, bro, were you scared about this? What was this? What happened with this? How did you guys get together? What happened in
Hmm.
this instance? What conversation you guys having about the business and starting this new thing? How does that work? How does she feel about it?
Yeah.
How does the fact that I'm always taking up so much time and it's like it's like how do you de-escalate that situation when we've been on
Right.
a call for 3 hours and she's sitting there tapping her foot in the kitchen
Right.
because you guys are supposed to do some shit.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you de-escalate that one?
Honestly, I think she would rather I just cheat instead of building a business because it's very open. I'm like, baby, I need to do this thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's a call. That's a conversation that we'll have on our Sunday community call, balancing
Yeah,
business, starting a business and a family. At the same
exactly.
time, because it does take, man. It takes. I look at my son and the business as like they're brothers
Yeah,
a little bit, because like I do have to raise both of them. You know what I mean? I got to raise this business to be something successful and it's not just me, of course, but it's like, something that we can eat off of, but
yeah,
also that he can eat off of and be able to have the time and dedication, because I don't want to be an absentee parent, even if I'm doing something good like building a business. So
mm,
like, if you want to learn more about that, definitely join our Legion community, where we definitely get into those deeper, harder conversations, with
yeah,
men as well.
yeah, for sure, man. Because I sometimes I can feel her stare while we're on the call. I can feel it through the phone. I'm like, your
That's
wife's
where his
staring at
little white flag,
you.
like, help, help.
Your wife's staring at you right now. Is it? No. It's like, is she holding a pan?
Right.
No.
It's a
Is she
brick.
threatening you right now? Think twice if you need me to call someone.
Right. But no, she gets it. Like
Yeah,
when she sees the conversations that we have like this, and sees the work and how far we've gotten in 2 years, like, she definitely appreciates that, because she knows what I'm working. I'm like, hey, we're gonna be getting properties in different countries and da 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 da. And I'm like, because I'm excited about it. Like
mhm,
I have, my excitement has to become infectious, not only to our employees but to our families, because then they'll be more willing to make that sacrifice of, okay, I'd rather be snuggled up on the couch with him watching a dumb movie, but he's
yeah,
got to work so that we can have a better life than what we have now. Because
mhm,
that's all your woman really wants. Is your woman is always going to want better than what you have, but she's willing to work. If you get the right one, she's willing to work
yeah.
with
That's
you.
like,
Yeah, it's not a but some of them want it gift wrapped and just like, hey, give me that thing.
mhm.
But for a good woman,
And I'll tell you how to
she
dep those hoes, bro.
for a good woman, you want her to be able to understand and also be there to support. Because like anytime I say like, hey, we're gonna do this and that, well, it's always like, yeah, it sucks when she's like, get off the phone or get off the meeting, but she's also like, well, how can I help? Make
Yeah.
sure you're getting all your taxes done and all that stuff, because it affects her too.
Hmm.
So it's all a part of the same cycle, bro. It's all a part of the same team, ultimately.
Yeah,
Um,
and his wife's a great woman, and she actually does allow me in the house. So that's so I.
we had to work in the garage. Angel said, I'm curious if you all have time. What keeps you guys going when you reach a comfortable spot in life? For example, you're hitting the gym, working, doing school, but what is the next step? That's a big one.
Mm,
Um,
that's a good one.
I would say, for me, what pushes me to that next level is that I'm never really satisfied.
Mm,
You know what I mean? It's the set. Okay, being comfortable is really nice. Imagine you
yeah,
have a king bed, and it's like self-warming. It knows when you come to bed, it all needs to be nice and toasty, and the blankets are crisp and all that good stuff. That's comfort.
mm,
What's hard is keeping the same mentality of, I was sleeping on the floor a year ago. You know what I mean? When you hit a certain amount of success, and that's not what really happened, but like just as an example, like some people are living that life. You know what I'm saying? If you can't maintain the same hunger that you had when you were sleeping on the floor, you should expand. You should always want more, is basically what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You should only use what you currently have when you're comfortable as the baseline for the next thing that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, because you shouldn't have, when you worry about going back to what you consider your bottom, and everybody's bottom is different. When you get back to, if you're afraid of getting back to that, there's a piece of you that pulls that towards you because it becomes a possibility.
Thanks.
When you just use your, okay, cool, all of the bills are paid, the lights are on, there's food in the kitchen, and everybody's comfortable. I got the AC going, but I just can't do extra fun stuff. That should be your new bottom. Everything is taken care of, but now I want more. Maybe I want a bigger house. Maybe I want another kid. Maybe I want a promotion at my job. You shouldn't get comfortable because, like Travis said, people around you can see that you're comfortable, and then they stop looking at you as that source of inspiration or for getting to that next step. When you're not work as an example, if you just do the bare minimum, you just work your job and you go home, you don't do any extracurricular stuff, you don't try to put no OT in, you're not asking questions about how to get to that next step, then you're not going to be looked at as somebody who could be leadership. You're just going to be a cog.
Mm-hmm.
They're only going to look at you as, okay, well, Angel comes in and does his job and goes home, and he doesn't put in that extra work that would make you that would give you the opportunity to move up to that next thing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a thing you have to cultivate, and it's like it's okay to be comfortable. You want to be comfortable, but you should also want more. You shouldn't get comfortable in it. Comfortably uncomfortable, basically. You know, there's always should be something in your mind as a man, at least, that says that, yeah, I did good here, I did good today, but I could do better tomorrow.
Yeah,
I can do better tomorrow.
Facts. I agree with that. It can get easy to get comfortable. I think a lot of times when you hit that point where you're getting comfortable, or you think you've set a big enough goal for yourself, or you're doing this, and this has happened to me multiple times where people will come who have been watching me, watching me work from wherever they are, just in passing, and be like, and talking to me, like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Well, what do you want to do? Oh, this is what I want to do. It's like, you can like do twice as much as that, right?
Yeah.
You're not dreaming big enough, right? And that's like, man, it's just it will like shatter your world, but also will light you on fire that someone else can see sometimes what we can't see for ourselves. That we're capable of more, that you're capable of not just, bettering your best. It's like if you're playing, for instance, if you're playing a video game or something like that, and you get to level 6, and there's 12 levels, most people don't get to level 6 and be like, yeah, I'm really enjoying this game, but I'm just gonna stop here.
Right.
I'm just not gonna play any further.
Right.
At a certain point, it almost becomes a kind of a game to you, to where it's like, okay, if I could do this, what else could I do? One big thing I always do is I have a really big far out goal that requires me to have smaller goals as I go, and as I hit them, it's one of, if I only let's say if I'm taking for I want to lose weight, I want to lose 30 pounds. Well, if that's my only goal that I have, that I set, once I hit those 30 pounds, I'm kind of like, well, do I need to keep working out, or I could just like I could do just enough to maintain this? But if my goal is to like, I want to climb Pikes Peak and do, I want to do all of the 15ers, 14ers, all the 14ers in the US. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's my goal. And I know, losing 30, that's my ultimate goal. Once I lose the 30 pounds, like 10 years from, whether it be 10 years from now or 2 years from now, it's like, that's the thing. Like, dream big. Like, I don't know if I can accomplish this thing. I don't know if it's possible for me to do this thing. Other people have done it, so I know it is possible, but I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'm capable, right? Who I am right now, I don't know if I'm capable of achieving that, which requires me to become a new person to actually reach that goal. So then when I hit that 30 pounds, I'm like, okay, that's not the end. It's like, this is great. This was my goal. This was a goal, but it's not my ultimate goal. Mm-hmm. I haven't hit that yet. I haven't done my best yet. I haven't done my best work yet. We haven't made our best video yet. We haven't helped enough people yet. Yeah. We haven't hit that bigger vision we have for ourselves yet. So it's like, while we did hit this goal, like us, hitting 1,000 subscribers, please, go ahead and click that subscribe button, like and follow. We haven't hit that yet, but once we hit, it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, we hit 1,000. That's great. But that's not the end. That's not our ultimate goal. That's not the end of our mission.
Right.
It's like, that's just a piece of it. That's a stepping stone on the way there. So you got to have a bigger overall vision, something so almost scary, something so ambitious that you're not sure if you can actually accomplish it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have something that big, it'll keep you motivated to keep going, because then you can have those smaller visions that get you there. It's like, okay, I reverse engineer. I have this big vision of this thing I want to do. I want to be CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I want to be, married and move out of the country and have 4 kids, or these different things like that. But I'm living in the hood in Chicago, whatever it may be. I have a bigger, whatever it may be for you. So I want to own an ice cream truck, and this is what I do, and not have to work every day, but hire other people, whatever that vision may be for you, that bigger, whatever that big is for you, have that, and then set, reverse that. It's like, okay, what goals do I need to set for myself for me to actually make it there, and start going from that. So, but if you set a goal, some of us aren't honestly setting goals worthy of us. Some of us aren't setting goals big enough for ourselves. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't scare you a little bit, you're probably not thinking big enough.
Yeah. And that's a crazy thing.
Having that, I think, is a big one when you get comfortable. I say grateful but never, grateful but never satisfied.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, man. So this has been a fantastic conversation. Thank you, Angel, for your participation and just kind of asking the question. Hopefully we were able to give you something.
Hopefully we answer that. Oh, let's see.
Yeah, he has a little response there. Absolutely, man. I agree. Can't stay comfortable forever. I'm staying hungry, trying to push. And then, you know what? It's a constant. When you hit a new goal, this is something that we ran into recently. When you hit that new goal, you might just set another one, but you need to celebrate the small wins, because that's how it keeps you humble.
Yeah, that's important.
You know what I'm saying? It's not I don't think it's the work that keeps you humble. It's the celebration, because it's like, damn, I actually did do this thing. And I was maybe thinking lower of myself here, but now that I was able to accomplish that, now I have a new bottom. And then that kind of but what's the next big step? You know what I'm saying? There's always a new level.
It's like climbing a ladder. There's always, you reach that next step. You don't want to go back down. It's like, okay, I'm going up to the next one. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. You just keep going. Yeah, man, that's super. And what you said is super important. Celebrate your wins, man. Even if it's a small win or something like that, or you perceive it to be a small win, celebrate that, man. It's like, because there's a lot of people who ain't doing shit.
Waiting for you to fuck up.
Yeah. So every now and then stopping and actually turning and looking at what you've accomplished can be a really important thing, and really that'll a lot of times keep you going and keep you motivated. Be like, man, it's like, okay, it's been 5 years I've been working on this thing. I'm 5 years in. It's like, man, it feels like I'm still having to work. And you look back and you're like, but man, it's like, look how much I've accomplished so far. It's like, it lights you up to like want to keep going. It's like, how much, if I accomplished all that in 5 years, it's like, and I'm halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, I can keep going. I can keep doing this. I've come too far to quit now. I put too much time in. It's like, I've accomplished so much. It's like, and I can keep going. I can keep rocking. I can keep working with it. And keep yourself pushing in that instance, and actually get that second wind. And sometimes, and here's this big kicker, man, is like, even when you hit that big goal, when you reach there, you're gonna look up. It's almost like we have the incline here, and it's almost like that false peak. It's like, so the incline is this trail here in Colorado Springs, mm-hmm. where it's the Manitou incline, mm-hmm. Where I believe it's over 2,000 steps. And it's like, it's an elevation of, it's like 2,400 steps, and it's an elevation of, what was it, like 1,500 feet or something like that, something crazy mm-hmm. like that. Mm-hmm. I might be wrong on that. But it's funny. You'll go, and Edmund and I've gone a bunch, and you go to this thing, and once you think you've hit the top, you're like, oh man, finally I reached the top. And you have people who are like, this is just the false peak, and you're like, what the hell's a false peak? And you get to the top, and you look, and you look up, and you're like,
there's another third to go.
it's like you're over halfway there, but you're not there yet. And you hit, when you hit that peak, when you hit that your false peak with that big dream you have, you'll get there, and you'll be like, man, if I achieved all of that, well, I'm not
Mhm.
going back, obviously. It's like
Right.
I worked way too hard to get here. It's like, but I realized that I'm not at the top yet. And
Mhm.
you actually never reach the top, man. That's the thing. You can always keep putting more coins in the slot, bro. It's like until the day you check out, until the day they put you in a box or in an urn, stop. It's just like you always have another go.
Yeah.
You always have another go. You know,
Yeah. I used to think about
Mhm.
oh, sorry, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, so it's like even when you hit there, you're like you'll realize there's another level to that. It's
Yeah.
like, man, you'll get there and be like, man, I thought I was thinking big, but now I'm here. I'm in new circles. I'm talking to new people. I'm talking to people who I couldn't even imagine having these conversations 10 years ago. I didn't think I would like know a YouTuber. I never planned on being a YouTuber.
Yeah.
That wasn't a
Yeah.
thing that I like actively planned on doing. Is like, but now I was like, I said to somebody the other week, I was like, yeah, I'm a, a YouTuber. I'm like, am I a YouTuber? I'm like, I'm a YouTuber. That's
You're a
weird.
YouTuber.
I was like, that's weird to say. I was like, that's
Right.
a weird thing to say, but I'm a YouTuber. I was like, okay, cool. Part of what I do is I'm a YouTuber. It's like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect to like know, like have a phone number of a, a pretty well-known person on the internet, YouTuber, somebody I watched for years. I didn't expect to like, hey, I want, I was like, hey man, it'd be nice to meet him one day. But I wasn't
Mhm.
like, I know this dude, I've hung out with him type deal. It's like I didn't
It's
expect
helped
that.
me build my business.
Yeah, that too. It's like you put me in new circles.
Yeah, man.
I've stepped into meeting new people, meeting Edmund, these different things like that. I didn't expect that in my life. I was doing my own thing. It's like, so when you hit a certain point, it's like, wow, it's like I'm in a whole new circle that I'm seeing what even more things are possible. I thought this was the peak. I thought
Mhm.
this was the top, and I'm
Mhm.
realizing that I'm at that false peak now. I'm not even halfway there yet.
Yeah.
There's still more time on the clock.
Yeah. It's just
And
this
so,
ain't even the first. This is just a warm up, son.
yeah, right. So keep going.
Right.
Keep
Keep
going.
going,
And
man.
if you have any and appreciate the comments, appreciate the support. Um, definitely for everybody, for all our subscribers and people who rock with us, man.
Thank you.
Like I say, we are shooting for that 1,000 subscribers, but well before the end of the year. And I'm absolutely positive that we'll hit that. And that's our first milestone. That's not even like the big one yet, though. But that's one of those smaller goals that we have. I don't want to say small, but that's one of the other goals we have on our way to hitting that big goal that we're shooting for. So, appreciate
100%.
you rocking with us. If you haven't subscribed, because I've checked the numbers and a lot of you aren't subscribed to our channel yet, but I know you're on here watching. We see
Mhm.
you watching, but we see you're not subscribed to. So, man, do us a favor, give us the, hook a brother up discount and hit that like button because it is free 99, bro.
Mhm.
And, it definitely keeps us motivated and helps us to keep, bringing this content, having these conversations, answering these questions that you guys have. And, some of these lessons that we have, bringing on other people like, our friend Soul, this, the YouTuber and all these different people like that we're meeting, high level business people, martial artists and different things like that. It helps us, keep bringing these people on and to keep doing this and keep bringing this knowledge for you guys and learning for ourselves as well in the
Yeah.
process. So definitely appreciate it, but hit that subscribe button, hit that like button.
100%. So that others can find us and we can help them too.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So we appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in for this conversation. And yeah, man, it's one of those things that I think was definitely needed because there's a lot about leadership and being the boss and da 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 and all these different things like that. But what does that actually mean?
Right.
What does it actually mean to do that for not just work, but like I said, your life and your relationships, and how do you become a leader in your community and a leader among men that people are actually willing to follow, that being a man that's worth actually following, is a big thing. How we develop that in ourselves, and how do we become that as
Mhm.
men?
Yeah.
Tell them where they can find us, Edmund, and we'll wrap up here, man. You got anything to finish out?
Man, you cannot lead anybody until you lead yourself. Point blank, period. You need to be able to align your thoughts, actions, and emotions that will help you stay on your trajectory that you're trying to go. Like whatever your mission is, whatever your fight is, get aligned on that path on every plane that you can. And then after that, then people will start to ask you how you did it, and you'll be able to make that leap into a new reality pretty much. And then those people will be like, well, how did you do it? And then you just pen on the playbook, man. That's all you have to do is hand them the thing that you did for yourself.
Yeah, man.
and then they can start to see what works for them, what doesn't, and then they can make up their own recipe and do the same thing, because all we can do is pass that information back. But you can find us everywhere. Warriors Way Home, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Especially we're going to do a lot more with that Facebook, for real. Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff coming for you guys. So make sure that you're checking out the 8 Inner Gates course and our Legion community. We're in a little bit of a shift right now, but we're getting a new platform set up for you guys that's a lot more easier to use than some of our old stuff. But yeah, man, we're working because it's better to be a warrior in the garden
than a garden in the war.
See you guys next time.
Take it easy.
Peace.